Welcome to Outreach Programming. I'm Mary Gerasi, and today I have two guests, and we're going to be talking about the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Prosperity Campaign. Welcome.
Thank you.
That was a mouthful. Lots to talk about today.
Absolutely.
Very interesting information. Once again, I'm stunned. I had no idea. Marcia, you're a tax specialist. You're working with the IRS. Give me a little information about the Earned Income Tax Credit and your joint effort with the Prosperity Campaign.
Okay, the Earned Income Tax Credit is a refundable as opposed to a non-refundable credit, which means that people who qualify for the credit may actually get money back that they didn't even pay into the government. It's a credit for people who make low to moderate salaries. You don't have to have a child to get the credit, but the more children you have, up to 2 children, the more the credit will be.
And this is something people don't know about. Is that what you're telling me? You've got a huge outreach campaign going on and some cooperative. Why don't folks know about it? What a wonderful opportunity to get back a little money.
Well, part of the reason people don't know about it is because every year 1/3 of the people who are eligible for the credit move out of being eligible and a new group move in. So also many times people, it just doesn't even occur to them because life situation when they were married maybe, or now they're single or divorced, and all it changes for them, so consequently they're not able to keep up with the latest in the tax law, and they just don't realize they're aware of it. But up to 15% to 25% of the people eligible for the credit are not aware they're eligible.
And there's some interesting things about that. You told me if you made $50, you actually can get a couple of bucks back. People may think because they only made $3,000 or $4,000 to $6,000 that they're not going to get anything back. That's not true, is it?
No, it isn't. You don't have to be married. You don't have to have children. As long as you have earned income and your income is under a certain amount, depending on your filing status, whether you're single or married, then you are eligible for a portion of a refund.
And we're going to get back to that because we want to bring Kristen into the conversation. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, how are you?
And you're with the Prosperity Campaign.
Yes, I'm the Hillsborough County Coordinator for the Prosperity Campaign. The Prosperity Campaign is a 2-county effort with Hillsborough and Pinellas counties, and I'm coordinating for Hillsborough County.
Tell me, what is the Prosperity Campaign and how does it tie into this Earned Income Tax Credit a lot of folks don't know about?
Well, the Prosperity Campaign is an outreach and education effort to get the word out to people who may be eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit, as Marcia was explaining, and also the Child Tax Credit. And once we want to promote this, we want to have these free income tax preparation sites where people can go for free at no cost to them to get their returns prepared by trained volunteers and staff.
So you're almost making it impossible for you to miss this opportunity to get some money back.
Right. We want to try to reach as many people as possible to let them know about the credit and then also know where to go to get their taxes filed for free.
And how is this program funded? I mean, you're going to do free tax preparation, which I know H&R Block charges $50 to $150 depending on how complicated it is. Free tax preparation and some money back. How does that work for this community?
We rely on funding from community partners such as the United Way of Tampa Bay, the Children's Board of Hillsborough County County Government, the Juvenile Welfare Board, which is over in Pinellas County. And also we rely on a lot of in-kind support from the IRS, also the AARP, and from our community partners that have sites, we rely on them to provide the resources, the equipment, and to do whatever they can to help us, because the more money that we have to use up of our own resources, the less we'll get back.
So it's a threefold effort. That's what you said. Will you expand on that, Marcia?
Well, yes, we look at this like a three-legged stool, you might say. We want first to make sure people are aware of the credit and make sure that if they're eligible, they claim it. If they're not eligible, they don't, because we don't want them getting into financial difficulties having to pay back money they're not entitled to. Then we want to allow them to have their returns prepared for free so that all of the money they're entitled to they get back and don't have to pay out in any type of fees. And from there, we go into financial literacy. We want people to understand how to use this money once they've got it, so that they can have budgeting and get checking accounts and do other things that would make them be able to start developing assets.
So how do you do that? Are you in charge of the financial literacy part? Let's say I go to one of your sites, right? You're promoting this all over Hillsborough County, and we'll have information of how to find out more information throughout the show, so stand with me. I show up, I made maybe $12,500, and I have no children, I'm not married. Where do I go from there? I show up with a W-2 form. How do I get involved in this process?
You definitely want to bring your W-2 form, any tax information that you may have received this year with you, if it's interest income from your checking account or your bank account, any information. You want to make sure to have your social security numbers for anyone in your household, your children, your spouse, and also if you will be filing a joint return, it's important to bring that spouse with you because they will need to sign the return as well.
Okay, so that's how I get plugged in. I bring the husband if I'm married, I bring my social security, I bring all my pertinent information.
Right.
So I bring all that, then I sit down and you help me prepare my form.
Yes, we have several different models that we're using in our sites. One of them is the AARP model. We're partnering with AARP to provide the tax assistance. They've been doing this for years, where they have their seniors, and also they're training some of our new volunteers that are in college or middle-aged people who want to help with this effort. They prepare the returns. There is no limit of the income for that model, where some of our other sites like the VITA model, the IRS model, which the IRS has been doing as well, people can't make more than $38,000. And also we have the benefit bank model, where the person would sit next to a counselor and they would go through the return side by side to help assist them preparing their tax return. So we have all different options to be able to use this.
So if I show up, do you plug me into one of the options, or do I get to choose one of them?
Well, it depends on the site.
Okay.
The site is only one model, but we have staff and volunteers there that will tell you when you come in, this is what, make sure you have all your paperwork, and maybe they can't help you at that site, but they can tell you what is the closest one that they can.
And they can also find these sites based on these three models on the Hillsborough County website, is that correct?
The Hillsborough County website, www.hillsborough-county.com/HSS/prosperity. And also we're partnering with the City of Tampa, the Children's Board of Hillsborough County, and also it has information on their websites, and also 211. They can call 211 to get the locations nearest
It's a
them.
government line, 211, is that correct? You
It's
can call
the
it on any phone?
It's the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay.
Okay.
If they are calling from a cell phone, it is a different number. It's 813-234-1234.
So there's no excuse. This is basically foolproof. If I show up at the wrong site because I'm single and only made $12,000 instead of filing a joint where we made $38,000, or I just needed help. So once I go to a site, if I haven't pre-checked the website, which you should do, find out where you need to go, they'll help you through it, I'll be redirected.
Exactly.
And how long is this campaign going on? I mean, I know April 15th is the due date, but does it extend past that in case you're you have a late paperwork, you didn't get your stuff in on
Well,
time?
actually, this year, April 17th is the last date because April 15th falls on a Saturday, so they have until
you have a
Monday
reprieve.
you have a reprieve. You have until Monday to get your return in. And no, most of our sites close down on April 15th. A few of the AARP sites do have volunteers who are available, but mostly it shuts down on April 15th.
So you need to get started now. Is that what you're recommending? Are these sites up and running?
Oh yes, they've been open since mid-January, so we've been helping a lot of people already. Just have about a month and a half left.
We have sites that are open mornings, afternoons, evenings, and even some on weekends. So
Once again, no excuses. You
absolutely
tackle all the
not.
angles,
Yes,
haven't you?
Yes.
Speaking of that, so we figured out, I brought my paperwork, I'm at the right location. Tell me about the financial counseling aspect. Do you automatically do that? Do you sign up for that? Do you encourage everybody to go through it just to make sure when they get their money back that it's going into a safe place? How does somebody get involved with the financial planning aspect that you do?
At all of our tax preparation sites, we do have information, and that's where we're starting with this, is that we have information, we have a directory that we created with different financial education providers and also financial institutions and credit unions, banks in Hillsborough County that we combine into one simple directory that's available at the tax preparation sites. So when they leave, they can take it with them, where they can go look at it when they're at home to see if they need help with budgeting, if they need help with credit counseling, opening a bank account. All the information is right there. Another thing that we're doing is we have a bank, Washington Mutual Bank, is at several of our tax preparation sites, and they can open up an account right there.
Wow.
A checking account at our tax preparation sites. And we also have other information about financial education opportunities, such as the Get Checking program, and we're working on an America Saves program that promotes saving money to avoid debt.
Tell me a little bit about those programs. So if I show up, I have a ready resource of help I can get with my credit information, how to save, how to be more fiscal and more responsible. Tell me about those two programs you just mentioned.
The Get Checking program, this is a new program that started, we're partnering with the United Way of Tampa Bay, and then also we have financial educators in Hillsborough County as the County Extension Service and the Consumer Credit Counseling Service will provide classes to people who may have never had a checking account, they don't know how to use a bank statement or a check register, or maybe they have had a bank account and unfortunately did not use it in the correct way.
That's me. I'm still trying to figure that one out. That ATM card can mess you up.
Right.
You use it for everything. You wake up, I have no money. I mean, it is sneaky.
Right.
That's true.
So we have found some people that may owe banks some money. They're able to attend a class. It's a 6-hour class. And then after that, they'll get a certificate that says I attended this Get Checking course. Then they're able to take it to one of our participating financial institutions and open up an account after they pay this restitution that they owed the banks.
So they get
Start
a clean
over.
slate.
Yeah.
Clean slate.
Wow. Who would have thought the IRS was so helpful? I mean, most people have a bad taste in their
That's
mouth about
true.
having to give their money back.
Well, we're very interested in making sure people have checking accounts, because if they have a checking account, they can have their refund check direct deposited to that account. It certainly eliminates a lot of theft. Last year, 84,000 refund checks did not reach the intended party, and 70,000 Treasury issued checks were illegally endorsed. So we definitely want to help people making sure that they have an account where this money can go so that they don't have to depend on it coming in the mail to them, that it can go directly to their bank.
So it benefits them all the way around.
Absolutely.
And how big of an issue is this loss of checks and endorsements? 70,000 people lost their checks completely?
70,000 people's checks were endorsed by someone else, which was $63 million. So chances of that money ever coming back are slim, so you have to issue another check, so it costs the American taxpayer $63 million.
And American taxpayers don't like that.
Absolutely. And another thing that people don't think about is the fact that each check that the government issues costs 75 cents. Every year we issue about 160 million checks, which comes out to $120 million that taxpayers are paying just for a check to be issued when it could have gone directly to somebody's bank account.
So this whole program is educating people about finances, getting those checking accounts to save them from having fraudulent checks taken or signed over or even lost altogether. How successful has this program been? It sounds amazing.
It's been great. Last year was our first year, and we brought back $15 million in tax returns and tax refunds. And also this year we're already on target to do even better.
How many folks show up usually? I mean, are they well attended, more attended on the weekends?
We find that February has been our busiest month for both years, but we do have some evening and some Saturday hours for people that work. So it seems like the sites are really busy.
Last year, between the two counties, almost 15,000 returns were done through our free tax preparation locations.
That's a lot. And what have you learned from this, Marcia, so far? I mean, where did this concept come from? How was it initiated? What was the need for it? It's huge.
IRS for years had done the free tax preparation program that was called FIDA, but it was very labor intensive for us. We didn't have the manpower to do something for just 3 months of the year. We also had the AARP program. So somewhere, someone in higher up decided that we should actually use a three-pronged approach, a community-based partnership, where we could reach out to the organizations who were already serving our targeted population and have them work with us. We could get the information out better. As you first said when we started, there is kind of this fear of the IRS. People don't think of us as that friendlier organization. But if they're getting the information from somebody they're seeing on a weekly basis, then they believe what they hear. So we've just felt that it was going to be a win-win situation if we created these type of coalitions.
And it sounds extremely successful. How many sites do you have operating here in Hillsborough
We have
County?
24 sites in Hillsborough County. We have them in the Brandon area, Town and Country, Ruskin, Plant City, and then also in the city area. We think we have the county pretty well covered.
Sounds like it. So once you find a site, let's say you went onto the website and you live in Brandon, do you set up an appointment? Do you make a phone call? How does that work?
Some of our sites are by appointment only, and it will have that information on the website where it says if it's walk-ins, where they don't take appointments, or if they encourage appointments.
So
And there's a phone numbers for all the sites is listed as well.
Yeah, well, we'll have those graphics up. So what do you see the future here as? It sounds successful. You're helping people save money. You're teaching them about money. You're putting things in checking accounts instead of sending out checks. You're saving our government money, and you're saving the taxpayers' money. I mean, how is this going to get better?
Well, the only thing we can hope is that all of the people who are eligible for EITC start claiming it. Last year, 22 million people received EITC refunds, which totaled $38 billion. But we estimate 15 to 25% of the people who were eligible didn't get it, so that can bring a lot more money into the community if everyone here just makes sure they file a return. And that's one of the key things. A lot of people do not file a tax return because their income was so low they don't have a filing requirement. But they will not receive the EITC credit if they don't file a tax return. So even if they only made $300 in earned income, then they need to be filing so they can get the EITC refundable credit.
What else are you doing to get this information out of here? There's a lot of people missing this information. I didn't know half the things we talked about in our pre-interview. It's like, you know, you could make $500 and get money back. What are you doing?
We're partnering with all different kinds of organizations in Hillsborough County. We're partnering with business, we're partnering with the governments, the city, the county, all three cities. Tampa, Temple Terrace, and Plant City are involved. And also we're partnering with a lot of organizations such as nonprofit and community social service agencies to get the word out to their clients that they see every day. We're working with Hillsborough County. Our county social workers wear these buttons that says, ask me about free tax preparation. So when they see their clients, they can say, hey, you know, we also have this service here tonight. Come back and file your taxes for free. So we're working to get the word out with these community organizations to their clients and also to their employees. We found that a lot of people that they employ could be eligible, and this is a good way for employers to give something back to their employees that necessarily doesn't have to come out of their budget.
Yeah,
And
that's nice.
One of the other things too, if you remember back in your Economics 101, that there's a multiplier effect. So when $1 is spent in the community, it can turn over and be $5 actually is what it's bringing back. So anytime the community gets more money back in, that means more money for the economy, fivefold over what they were actually receiving in refunds. So it benefits everybody, and usually the people are spending this money in their local economy. They're not taking their earned income tax credit refund and going outside of this area. So it benefits businesses and it benefits everybody here.
Wow, it's a great idea, and it's flourishing, and it came together. Not like most government programs, no offense. This sounds like a success story. As far as the free tax prep is concerned, can I just come as an average taxpayer that doesn't fulfill the criteria for the earned income tax credit and get a little help?
At some of our sites, yes. Like I
really?
said, our AARP sites will help people even fill out their own returns if they need that kind of guidance, or just have a tax question. They're there to help. Like I said, based on how much you make, some of our sites can do it for you. Others can give you advice.
The AARP does, though, prefer if you don't meet the criteria that you be over 60, because they do that's their primary focus.
Okay, so somebody my age who makes a good salary might have a problem filling out tax forms because of something else. Don't take it there, right?
True, but something you can do that's outside of the Prosperity Campaign, but it's another way IRS is trying to help, is you can go online to the IRS website, www.irs.gov, link into free file, and there are several different software companies that have partnered with the IRS, and if you might meet their criteria, it's usually under $50,000, but you can file electronically for free from your computer at home.
So you can even file from home. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to spend gas money, which we know is expensive. Tell me some of the success stories you've had. It sounds like you've had phenomenal success. Tell me about some of the folks you've encountered and some of the successes you've had.
Well, as I said, this is our second year. We found last year that there was an employee at one of our sites that was eligible, and she didn't even know anything about the earned income tax credit. And she said, oh, I might be eligible for this. So she found out that not only was she eligible for 2004 tax year, but that she was eligible in past years. One thing with the earned income tax credit is that you can go back and file for three years prior and receive those credits as well. If you find out that maybe you did qualify then. So she was able to do that, and we found out that she was able to pay off her student loans. And this year she's hoping to also receive the earned income tax credit and make a down payment on a house.
So even if you failed to file and you didn't know, 3 years, is that the cap, 3 years?
3 years from the date the return was due.
Okay.
So if you had, this year's return is due on the 15th or 17th, we'll say, of 2006. So you have 3 years from this year to file the 2005 amended return if you needed to file an amended return.
And there might be a misconception that this is basically for people who are poor or impoverished. That's incorrect. Teachers aren't making a ton of money. Some of our firefighters don't make a lot of money, especially if they have a wife working a second job where they don't make a lot of money. What are some of the clients you see? What are their careers? Who do you come across?
This is from all over. I mean, people that work at hotels. I mean, it just seems like waitresses or servers or anyone can be eligible for this.
If the income for the household is under $38,000, then they're more than likely going to be eligible. Of course, it depends on the number of children because that does affect it. But when you multiply out the number of weeks we have in a year and times 40 hours a week and divide that into the 38,000, it means people can be earning about $19 an hour and still be eligible for this. And we don't think of $19 an hour as a low income wage. So it's not just for the low, it's for the low to moderate income person.
So if you think, oh, I'm a school teacher or I'm a firefighter, I make too much, don't discredit that.
Absolutely.
And the best way to find out is to get onto the website.
Actually, IRS has a really helpful little website, link on our website.
Okay.
It's called the EIT Assistant. You put in your information and you just go through questions. If at some point it kicks you out, then you know you're not eligible. If you keep going, it'll tell you at the end that you qualify for the earned income tax credit.
Amazingly foolproof. I mean, how many things can you say you actually experienced that are basically foolproof? Do you run into any snags? What would be the most common problem that happens at these sites?
The most common problem is that people don't have their Social Security number, the correct Social Security number. And also when we're filing, we find sometimes that just 2 numbers can be switched around and the IRS won't accept it. So that we need to make sure to stress to have the correct Social Security numbers for everyone in your family. And also if you want to just bring copies of the Social Security card with you to make sure that it's correct.
Oddly enough, I no longer have my Social Security card. Is there any information you could give me how to reapply for one? Or?
Well, actually, Social Security issues the Social Security cards. You would have to go down to Social Security and fill out the necessary paperwork for a lost Social Security card.
Okay, so it's basic that Paramount, you get one no matter when, correct?
Right.
It's a good
right.
idea to have
IRS
one.
has nothing to do with the actual issuing of them. We have to send people to Social Security.
Well, I knew that, but I knew you would know how we could handle that. I knew you had the information.
You're right.
You're chock full of good information. Is there anything else you want to tell me about what you do, how your outreach works, and what you expect from doing shows like this and getting the information out?
That's exactly what we expect. We expect the people who may not know about the earned income tax credit to watch this or listen and say that they could be eligible for it, and to take advantage of these free services, these free tax preparation services, and also the financial education information so that when they do receive this refund, they can save it or spend it wisely.
And how about you? What are your goals for this program, this 3-prong approach? I mean, are you seeing it work?
We're absolutely seeing it work. It's being used all over the country, and every year it just keeps growing, and we're very pleased at how much we have been able to accomplish.
Well, it's been great having both of you ladies on the show, and thank you for the work that you do. Hopefully we'll get some folks out there knowing about the earned income tax credit and some other information about websites and phone numbers.
And if anybody wants to volunteer for this program, they can also contact Kristen, and she'll be happy to get them in touch with the program.
What's your contact information for volunteers?
301-7335.
Say that again.
301-7335.
It's been great having both you ladies on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more outreach program.
For the past 37 years, SCORE has helped thousands of Hillsborough residents realize their life's dream of owning their own small business. At one time, these successful small business owners took their first steps through these doors and into the world of SCORE.
It's a separate issue,
Right.
which you're going to have to independently manage somehow. It's a risk.
SCORE's mission is to provide professional guidance and information accessible to all to maximize the success of America's existing and emerging small businesses. If you're just thinking about going into business, you will get the help you need navigating the process with sound solutions, mentorship, and counseling. These same services are made available to persons who are already running a small business and may just want some help along the way. Every month, SCORE offers seminars such as Business Law 101, Going into Business for Yourself, Understanding Business Contracts, and Preparing Your Business Plan during the day, evenings, and on Saturdays. Because SCORE is sponsored by the Small Business Administration and works closely with local government services sponsored by the city and county, there is no cost to the client for counseling and a nominal fee to attend seminars. The client not only has the advantage of having personal interaction with seasoned business professionals, the SCORE client also has an up-to-date library at their disposal. Books, magazines, DVDs, and software programs can be utilized to help the small business owner in every aspect of their startup operation. The SCORE office also provides a computer for internet access, website information, and any online resources that a client could need. You can also just walk in and pick up one of hundreds of our brochures that we have carefully selected to help guide you through your business needs.
There is a list.
Tampa SCORE also wants to invite all retired executives to join us in our mission to help Tampa-based small business owners. If you are interested in joining, just click on our website, call our phone number, or come to our general meetings, which are held on the fourth Thursday of every month. The offices of SCORE are located at 7402 North Corporate Square, Building 400, Suite 425. You can call the SCORE offices at 813-988-1435 or 813-914-4027. Our website address is www.tampascore.org.
Conversation with him